Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy K High, and I'm checking in today with Wiz Khalifa. Wiz, what's the word, man?
What's cracking, brother?
I can't call it. You already know I got to start off with my usual "What's keeping you smiling today?" question.
I just picked my son up, so that's always good.
Yeah, real
Hell
talk.
yeah.
So let's get into this project, man. Multiverse out at the end of July. Like I was saying before, it's a beautiful array of flavors and vibes. It's your first solo album in a while. So how long have you been working on this project?
I really been working on it for like the past fucking 4 or 5 years, like just
Jeez.
getting the sound together and just trying new things or just learning new things and perfecting, my methods of how I approach music. And it's really just been a combination of all of that, put together.
Yeah, no, real talk. I love the soulful elements to it. The instrumentation, like saxophone is an elite instrument. You can hear that all throughout. So
Mhm.
yeah, can you go a little bit more into your approach?
Yeah, I kind of just went with the flow, man, and just let the DNA of the album form itself. And I just, didn't fight it. And it's always been a goal of mine to do something that stands out and that just is more like like more musical. I love, hardcore hip hop. So those elements are always going to be in there. Like my lyricism as far as rapping is always going to be there. But the real instruments and just musical side of it, and just the way that progression of music makes you feel. I think that was really important to bring out on this album.
Absolutely. And you recorded this with I think you told me before, a live band, right?
Yeah, the majority of it. And there's a lot of songs where it might have started out where with just, me and the producer, or me and, somebody who makes beats. But I kind of have my own method of building songs and just making it sound how I see it in my head. And I definitely needed to be in there with my band to make that come alive.
Yeah, that's real. And the tour is
Yeah.
gonna go even crazier. It's nothing like a performance with a live band on it. Like
Mhm.
just being a crowd on a vibe on a cloud. Like it just hits.
All right. It's amazing, dog. It sounds so good. It feels so good. And it just reminds people of different musical experiences. I think right now we're kind of in a box just because the younger generation, they haven't really experienced the things that we went through. You know what I mean? So it's like to give them that option so they can feel it and know what it feels like. It's not to say anything is right or wrong or better or worse, but it's just to give you that experience and involve you into it and give you a chance to get that on that heightened level.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
yep.
right there. Wiz, I want to go into a couple of the songs. I mean, the project holistically is definitely going to be on a whole bunch of end of the year lists. I mean, clearly going to be one of the best of the year. But the songs individually are strong as hell as well. So I want to tap into a couple. Let's start with High Maintenance. Talk to me a little bit about putting that together. That's one of my favorites on the joint. I think your fans say the same.
Yeah, man. That one, I was just having a lot of fun with it. It started out one way where we had a sample on there, but the sample didn't get cleared. But Girl Talk, being the genius that he is, was able to just go in and make a cleaner version of it. But the flow on there was really, really fun. The way that I do, songs like that is I kind of just build on top of them. I didn't even have a concept in mind. Like I just got straight in there and just started rapping and started saying shit that was relevant to me at the time. And it started to make sense when I was like, people treat you different when the girls scream your name. I'm like, oh, that sounds good right there. I'm like, yeah, that's what we talking about. And then by the time we got to the second verse, I wanted to get a feature on there. I ain't even gonna lie. But just not getting the feature, I was like, I might go this person on them. I might go that person on them. Like, and then it just turned into a whole little game of like, so it was cool, man. It just developed it and it was like a loose, fun concept.
Yeah, super groovy. I'm not even in Cali, but that shit made my living room feel like Los Angeles. So
It's crazy. Like the beat on there it sounds like West Coast, but to me it's very Pittsburgh oriented. Like it's
ah,
like some old Mac Miller type shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit we really came up on, like that vibe and that little groove right there. So it's definitely going to be appreciated.
yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
RIP to Mac. On that note, I gotta ask you about homies as well. You shout him out on that song. You talked
Yeah.
about Nipsey Hussle on the project. But yeah,
Yeah,
how did that record come together? And you know, what made you feel like it was time to put that out, or you were in that space too?
that was another one where I kind of just let the flow develop, where I started talking about something and just dug deeper into it as I went on. And you know, it kind of carved itself and made itself make sense. I'm really sensitive to records and how they feel to people. So if I start something and I see a way that it's going, I'm like, oh, this is the way that I need to, you know, shape and shift this. So, you know, the first verse, it started out just about my childhood and about my life and the things that I went through. And the word homies, that's what we say in our hood. Like if somebody's like swearing on something, they be like, that's on the homies, or they be like homies, blah, blah, blah. Like put that on the dead homies, you put that on your homies or whatever. So that was a way for me to flip that word on some hometown shit. And then in the last verse, you know, I was just talking about all my real homies who helped me get to where I'm at. And these are conversations that I have with people off to the side, but I never really put it into song form. And anybody who hears that song, they hear how it develops. And by the time it gets to the end, they're always like, man, the way you brought that shit around is so crazy. Like they just love the whole journey of it, the concept.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Two standouts amongst the many.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you already know you've been in the game for a while now, like really a legend in this shit. I don't know how you see yourself, but what would you call if you had to define this part of your career, this era of Wiz Khalifa's life? What word would you use?
This is OG status.
Tell me
Yeah.
why, but that's I,
Yeah, yep.
yeah, straight like that. All right, so a couple more questions, man. I gotta ask you about Taylor Gang, obviously one of the most powerful, notable rap imprints of the 2010s. There was a whole bunch of fire ass collective just coming out of that time. So, from your perspective, what would you say was the top three collectives coming out of that time and why?
Um, Definitely Juicy, because that's my OG. And I just felt so proud for him to be able to like rep the gang and call us gang and us be able to rep Mafia. Like that was just a big moment for me. Ty, for sure. Just because I had so much love, appreciation, and I had so much faith in him, just being such a huge superstar. And I think the gang as a whole, our producers, Chev, everybody who contributed to like the entire sound at that time, because it was more, it still is, but it's a lifestyle, and to really be gang like that, like you got to live that shit. So there's a lot of like really, you know, what am I trying to say, like key points that happened back then that just made everything what it is. So yeah.
Nah, real talk. Were there any other like rapper run labels that you were like you grew an appreciation for?
um Everybody, for real, like I'm cool with everybody. Like
It's a lot of talent.
I've always been good with Ross, so like, you know what I mean, MMG, that's fam.
Shout out.
Everybody, bro, like I'm cool with everybody. Wayne and them, you know what I'm saying, that's fam.
Mhm.
um Even just like the young homies, like Joey Badass and them, like them is my young niggas, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah,
just hella people, fucking the cool kids from Chicago, like, you know what I mean, like just I fuck with everybody, bro.
yeah. Now that's love.
Mhm.
And I know Joey's project is fire too.
No, he always comes with heat. My
That's a
boy
fact.
could write too. He's got different styles and shit like that. Like
Yeah,
He's one of them ones.
yeah. You ain't tell a lie. So one of my last questions to you, you obviously over the years are developing as a businessman. You got Khalifa Kush going crazy, getting into the shroom business. I wanted to ask, like, when it comes to being business oriented, is there anybody that inspires you?
Jay-Z, Master P, Kevin Hart, uh, Dave Chappelle.
What's up?
These are people who do what the fuck they want to do. They own their shit.
Yeah.
They move when they want to move. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really, you know, show too much. They just really just they be on point. 50, you know what I'm saying? 50's a really good business person and mentor of mine. Snoop has
Oh,
given me a lot of game.
of course.
Rick Ross. These are dudes who like really handle business. Rick Ross wakes up and promotes every motherfucking day.
He does.
He promotes every day. Like my man don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look up to those dudes, like how serious they take their business, and yeah.
Yeah, real talk. That's super inspiring for young people like me to see, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Word. Yo, Wiz, that was all I have for you. Anything else you want to add? You want to say to the people, to the folks?
Nah, that's perfect. I'm really excited about the project. I can't wait for you guys to digest it fully. You already had your piece. So it's gonna you probably heard a version. It's gonna switch just a tad bit, but not too much to fuck up the flavor. Like yeah, you'll understand what happens. But I can't wait for y'all motherfuckers to get that shit. I'm super excited. Come see us on tour. I know you'll be at the show. Come smoke out with us. We getting the can of gun ready right now. Let me see that, Adam.
Oh shit.
Putting this together right now. So we got the can of gun.
Oh man.
It's missing a piece, but we getting it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna fuck with us.
Say no more. I already know it. Run that project up. Catch Wiz on tour. Wiz, thank you again for taking the time, man. Much love. You already know.
No doubt. Thank you as well. Have a great day.